I'm Lisa Zainab Killinger. I'm a doctor of chiropractic from Davenport, Iowa. And I embraced Islam in 1979 while I was a student at Iowa State University, like many of your students here. And don't hold it against me that I was from Iowa State. I actually have a daughter here, so it's a moral dilemma for me knowing who to root for when there's a football game. And I have another daughter going to come to Iowa next year, inshallah. So I found Islam a very, very interesting religion, and have, as our previous speaker was talking about, I found it important to question, as Islam does actually encourage us to question our deen. And I found it to be a faith very, very just and very fair, particularly with the rights of women and the rights of the oppressed and those things. And so I do lecture on women's issues in Islam. Some of you I've seen before as familiar faces in the crowd in previous Iowa Muslim conferences. And also another interest of mine is peace in Islam. So I do some lecturing on peace and universal peace through Islam, which really catches people off guard when they're non-Muslim, because they don't look at Islam as the religion of peace. But we know as Muslims that is a fair description. But my topic at hand today, which was given to me, and I thought, oh, don't give me this topic, but they gave it to me and I'm going to do my best, is finding a soulmate Islamically. And this is a topic ripe with opportunities for discussion. So I'm going to be very brief, and hopefully we can have some question and answer, some communication here in the room. I'm not planning to make any love connections or anything while we're here in the room, but we'll do what we can. One question I think we have to pose, and I think some of you have handouts and some of you are sharing them. My apologies, I made as many as I could. Are you ready to find a soulmate? And not everybody is really ready for marriage in Islam. It's a big commitment. It's a big commitment in effort and in time. But many know that marriage is considered half of our deen. If we add up all the credits that we get for prayer and fasting and giving and charity and many of our faith acts, a good marriage or success in marriage is equivalent to that. So that's a pretty hefty amount of blessings and a pretty hefty amount of responsibilities to do something to get that much credit. That's equivalent to prayer and fasting and everything else we do. Because sometimes we feel burdened that that's a lot that we have to do as Muslims, to pray so many times and to fast and all the efforts we make. But think of marriage as being equivalent to all of that put together over your whole life. That's equivalent to marriage. So it's a tough go. It takes work. And then I think if people are interested in this topic, they have to be doing some introspection. Are you ready now in your time or in your life to be married in Islam? Are you, if you're a woman, do you want to live with a boy? You have to think about it. I mean, it's completely different and sometimes a lot less fun than living with your girlfriends, right? Or living with your sisters. If you're a man, are you ready to live with a woman all the time? It's a decision you have to make. Are you ready to commit to that in Islam, to be a wife or a husband? So that's one thing we have to reflect about as we're talking about this topic. Are you ready? If you're going to find a soulmate, are you first ready for marriage in Islam? And you have to think of choosing a partner in Islam to marry. Is this somebody, are you ready to choose someone that you're willing to grow old with? Are you willing to take someone and then to travel forward through the rest of your life with them and grow old with them? And thinking of the person that you're choosing as your soulmate, as an old man or an old woman with you as your life's partner, you have to think that through, because this is a forever deal. That's our goal, right, in marriage in Islam. We want to marry forever. Sometimes it doesn't happen that way or work out that way, but that's our goal. So think about, are you ready to grow old with someone, one person, for the rest of your life?